Hello, heathens.
Hello, heathens.
God, Nicole and I just talked for like a whole hour. We had a therapy session before starting this episode. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're
We're
welcome.
well. We talk our feelings out.
Yeah, we got back on the same page. Not that we were really that far off, but
No, not at all.
sometimes,
Not
you
at
guys,
all.
when you're really close with someone, you gotta fucking talk some shit out just to let you know where you're both at, and like then you can come together on ideas, and it's good. Be vulnerable with your best friend, man. I'll
Well,
tell
yeah,
you.
because I think it's valuable to say that the thing we figured out just moments ago was that, if you feel that twinge of, I don't know, I guess the best way to describe it is like a triggering.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you talk about it when it's just starting to be like a blip on your map, it kind of squashes it. So then it doesn't grow and get big, and then you have this big like explosion. I'm extremely glitchy today, so I just want you to know.
Yeah, it's okay. I think the heathens are used to it. It wouldn't be an episode
Yeah,
without a dog barking and or glitching.
that's very true.
That's just part of our fucking charm. You're
Yeah,
welcome. Again, you're welcome.
it's my flavor.
It's a it's her flavor of the week. So we wanted to update you guys because we were just talking about this, and I was like, we should tell the people this. She's like, actually, we should. You know how we just did the episode not too long ago on
Of drugs
alcohol,
and alcohol.
drugs and
Yeah,
alcohol?
drugs,
Nicole and
drugs.
I have recently decided we are no longer participating in the spirits
Yeah.
unless it's like very special occasions. And Nicole has decided unless it's top shelf.
Yes, I have decided that the only time I'm drinking, because if I'm listening to my body and the way it feels, the only time that I enjoy drinking is drinking Johnny Walker Blue or some high priced, or actually it's old, it's like refined more. So, but it's more expensive. So it does a couple things. It fulfills my need to like have luxury and a drink and socialize,
Mm-hmm.
but I also don't need to spend $100 on 2 glasses of scotch.
You guys smuggle
So,
S's too, let's be clear.
oh, it's a shot. Let's get this real clear. Like
Yeah, it's a shot. $52 a pop, baby.
you don't do two,
You don't do
right?
two.
You
Well, maybe
don't
on
do
very
two.
special occasions.
Oh, once in a while, but like, this is going to be an expensive hobby if it becomes a hobby, right? Like, so it helps with, and I tested out last night with my friends Derek and Ryan, is I was like, well, I was trying to figure out who I was going to be without drinking and how I can still socialize while doing that. And they were like, okay, we'll come out. And I said yes. And I ordered my one drink, Johnny Walker Neat. Didn't ask the price because I kind of figured what it was. And then had my drink. And then got to that moment after that drink, and we were still sitting around and they were ordering another one. And I have a problem with like going with the flow. So I was like, I don't want to say no. I don't like conflict. And then like I ordered another one, but the bartender helped me out. So she was like, I just want you to know that this is $52. And I immediately was like, oh, no, I'm good. Will you give me some water, please? So, but it helped me stick. It was nice to have her kind of my universal, like, not babysitter, but like,
Your
uh,
guide in a way.
yeah, like, are you sure? Remember when you said
Do you
you were doing
remember when you said
one
I
drink? Remember
it,
that?
it's so funny that you say like you're questioning who you're going to be without alcohol because I was telling Nicole that Monday night my life's been a little crazy as of late and I've been going through a lot of things that have been growth promoting, but Monday night on the way home, I had this moment where I was like, I don't know if you guys have heard or know of what the watcher inside is. And if not, of course, look it up because this is not the time to explain that.
That's a
Do your
whole show.
research. Yeah, exactly. But the watcher came out and I was unbelievably hyper aware of everything to the point I felt everything on and in my body. I was hyper aware of where parts of my body needed work and stuff. And then when it hit me that it was the watcher coming out, I started to come back to who like I normally am, my normal state of being. And
Mhm.
you just made me realize I was questioning on the way home. I'm like, who am I? Who am I now? Where am I
Yeah.
going? What do I want to
Yeah.
do? And
Mhm.
I was just realizing all these things about myself where it was like something I really have wanted to start adding to my books that I will be adding probably today is spiritual counseling for some of my clients because I have clients come in who really just want to come in and talk to me and get advice and see what I get and they don't need their hair done. And I'm like,
Right,
they
right.
come in, they sit down and I'm like, what are we doing today? And they're like, honestly, I don't know. I don't know why I'm here.
I just needed to see you.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, well, I come up with a plan. Sure, we'll do like, let's just pop a few in here. Let's do this. And then once we get talking, then I realize why they're here and it's to talk. They need
Mhm.
somebody that they trust to talk to, even if it's just to listen sometimes. So I was thinking about that on Monday night too, where I was like, I really need to add that because that is part of what I really feel called to do. And it's like,
Mhm.
it was part of that like questioning of who am I? Who
Who
fuck am
am
I
I?
even?
No, actually in the ritual because um I really think California is very transformative. But that was not what I was thinking. I was overthinking and I realized that like overthinking and racing my thoughts and they kind of go like this. And I'm really good at it, but it's done it for so long that I don't really notice it. But because I've been doing a lot of magic and like I can feel myself kind of uh I hate leveling up, I guess. But I was I was like, I stopped it and I was like, I'm not this person anymore. I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to have to think about like this. I guess if you would call it ego or whatever, but like it brings up all these intrusive thoughts about like jealousy and rage and how dare you and a victimhood. And like it just keeps like picking at each one of those. And I'm like, none of those thoughts meant anything. None of those thoughts would come out to anything good. Why am I having them?
That's a
You're not
really good
needed here
question.
anymore. You're not needed here anymore. I don't need you. If I follow the victimness, where is that going to lead me? I know all the stuff that I feel like I'm being victimized to doesn't mean anything. Like that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. And then like with like, I don't know, jealousy, you're like, well, that's also not true. That's also not true. That's also not true. Like it just goes through this whole thing of like, if I went to each of these questions or these concerns and presented them to like, say, you, they had no legitimacy in them, right? They're just hollow ghosts or shells of feelings that I don't really have anymore. But they're
Mhm.
so used to being there that like,
That's what our therapist friends would call our own narrative.
right. And I'm like, nope, out.
You got
Yeah.
to go. That
You
narrative is no
gotta
longer
go.
valid.
Let me go dig a hole in the backyard and put you all in there.
Yeah, because you're not welcome here anymore. There's no point for you.
Mm-mm,
At one point
mm-mm.
you were serving me, I guess, not in my highest good, but you were there for a purpose, obviously, or a reason had to be.
Look,
But
they got me here, so okay. Like they served their purpose.
right, exactly. Essentially, you guys, we hope you are also going through all the transformations we're going through because we've been on this journey together for what, fucking half a year now.
Yep,
Half a
half a
year
year.
of heathens for the
Solstice.
fucking people, you guys. And actually, yeah, well, when this comes out, we'll already be within summer, but summer solstice just happened as of yesterday for
Mm-hmm.
us, and we are celebrating on Saturday. And
I'm
fuck it.
excited.
I always forget how much I do actually like summer because I don't hate the winter. I just
Mm-hmm.
enjoy every season, but right now I'm like, oh, it's so nice. I want to go read in my hammock and
Oh, it's such that lazy, especially here in the north, I feel like, because we don't have summer all the time, and it's such a blip in the like our lifetime.
I was gonna say the Matrix.
Yeah, and it's so you appreciate it so much more because it is like that lazy. The north becomes very lazy. Like they go to the lakes all the time, like they like, you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
you go camping, you're in nature. Ooh, that's nice. Where did you get? Hello, friend.
Well, she's staying there. Sorry
That
for
shit.
those listening. My hair is going a little ham in the back,
It just came out.
but I'm a good hairdresser, so.
Yes, she is. She cut my hair.
All right. Well, I guess let's get down to brass tacks.
Brace of the tax.
Today, you guys, we are talking about our couple trips we went to Salem because we needed like a nice, fun, easy episode. And we're going to talk about some shit that's happened to us in Salem and talk about Salem. And I'd have to say, well, we all know of the hell, well, I'd say healthy, I almost said unhealthy, fat obsession I have with New Orleans. Salem was pretty cool. But also not my favorite at the same time. I don't know how to say it without. I like Salem. I don't love Salem. There we go. I like Salem.
Yeah, and I find that even now, like I'd want to go back and visit because like it's one of those places like I just feel like it's a visiting place. Like I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah.
Like California.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I love and hate California because like I hate it. But every time I go, I have these huge like epiphanies and I'm like, fuck.
Ew.
Seriously. It's a horror, it's a place to be. It's a place.
It's a
It's a
love-hate
place.
relationship
Yep.
where I'd say Salem's like a like relationship for me. I like it. It's cool.
Oh God.
I love I just anyways, we're
You
talking about Salem today.
you just paused.
Oh no.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we're back. Sorry. So apparently my internet is and was unstable
It's
since
unstable.
when? I have no
Hmm.
fucking idea because we pay for 5G fiber and we have to have the best of the
Oh
best
God,
and
yes.
sometimes it's not the best. So there's that. Anyways.
Fair enough.
So Nicole and I have been to Salem twice now, and my second time was way better than my first, I'd say for myself. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed both of them. Again, they're hard states, I feel like. I feel like they're hard, like there's some really you play hard, you cry hard. Like it was great to go where this story of like the witches were from, and I did some like I a lot of the people that were in that time frame have a cemetery in the town, and I buried some water and I got some water from it and they allowed me to do that, and it was very nice. um but I haven't quite found like the soul or the magic of Salem yet, right? A
There it
lot of the
is.
stuff is very superficial and I like it. It's like icing on top of the cake. Is I really want the cake, but the icing's a good like
The icing's entertaining. Oh my gosh.
covering. I
There
don't
we go. I was
know.
gonna say this is going to be an episode of us probably pausing a few times, you guys, just because the internet is not loving us today. Come on, Ethernet.
Ethernet. Did I pause? Did you
You
pause?
did pause.
Because you paused too.
Oh, lovely. Go
Yeah.
us. Um, I can't remember what I was saying to you, what you were saying now, because all I could focus on is the internet. But
Well, yeah, and I don't know what they see either. So it was how Salem, like we haven't found the soul or the magic yet in it.
yeah,
and it's like it's gotta be there.
Oh,
Like,
that's what I was gonna say. Like, don't get me wrong, Salem was so fun. There's a lot of shops. There's
yeah, yeah.
cool adventures places. There's some cool. There's some of the tours. We got really lucky. Our second time we went, we took the baby and Bella, and we got to go on this really awesome tour. The woman is actually from Michigan, and that woman knew so much about Salem, and she freaking was blowing our mind left and right. Things I didn't know. And it
No,
was
we've
just,
done
oh,
research on it and we've watched shows and documentaries on it and stuff like that.
yeah.
The detail of like, I swear, like because there was a whole story about a poor child, and it was so devastating because it was like people are it's amazing. We really need to look at the Salem his witch trials, because it's the hysteria that scares me, that makes people do these things to, no matter what it is. I mean,
Uh-huh.
they put this child in jail by itself.
Well, and what I wanted to, that's crazy bringing this up because this was the story that hit me the most too, is back
Hmm.
then, you guys, you were paying to be in jail.
Yeah.
Taxpayers weren't paying for you to be in jail. You had to pay if you got put in jail, you were paying for it. And if
Hmm.
you were poor, you got a foot by foot square cell. That's what you got, a foot by a foot. If you had more money, you could have a bigger jail cell. You could have better food. You could have whatever really you wanted while you were in jail. But if you had no money, this child was put in a foot by foot cell.
Hmm. Hmm. And I think she was two-ish, 2 or 3. So she stayed in the cell until I think they finally let her out when she was 13,
I think younger than that.
9,
I want
maybe.
to say
Uh,
9, 8 or 9,
but
but
she
we're
was
not sure.
so wild. She was so wild and untamed that they couldn't get her to do like normal behaved human stuff. She like ran out to the forest, and she would only like very wild, just very untamed. Didn't know, didn't I don't think she knew how to talk. Maybe she did.
I don't think she did.
There was a lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot. Yeah, and then she ended up dying really young because she didn't know how to take care of herself. She couldn't talk, like all this crazy stuff. And I was just like, what?
It hit me so hard. It hit me
Me too.
so hard because I was like, this poor baby.
We were so hysterical in the day. I actually found out a date for you guys for my little history buffs. Let's see. Because I was like, when did that happen? I had to look it up because I was like, the witch
Was it
trials
this?
began in
Yeah.
1692, and in
Yeah.
3 months' time, 19 innocent people were hanged, and one man was pressed to death. And we also heard the story about the man being pressed to death, and oh my God. Ah, yikes. Fucking yikes.
And these are people that think they're doing the right thing.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? They're not evil people. They're not necessarily, right? They literally think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah. It was bizarre to say the least.
Hmm.
It was so crazy because, like, I don't know, there was a lot of stories and a lot of things that I just did not know about Salem. So if you go to Salem, I guess, right, what I'm saying is go do a historical tour because there's a lot of things you'll find out that you just didn't know. That I just
Hmm.
mind blown, absolutely mind blown. Like, there was this one story about this woman, her husband passed away. She ended up inheriting the land and all this stuff, and the men there were mad that she had the land.
Hmm.
It was
Hmm.
crazy because they did a bunch of shit to try to get her out of that house and get her land.
Well, then that's the thing, is then they called her a witch and she had to be put in jail and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, Jesus, like,
Dude, that was bizarre.
but I think it's a good thing for us to remember and to look at, because just the fact that this is what a group of people is capable of doing, just by thinking, like I said, there it's like a righteous or a justice kind of thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even there's the Salem Witch Museum. I think that's the one that we've been to two different museums there that were both about the trials, and they both have very old, I don't know how to say this other than like wax figurines and graphics, and they're very interesting because the one you go into the basement for, and it is spooky because I'm not a mannequin fan. Girl's a little freaked out that one of them was gonna like move or something.
It's so weird. It's so weird that the mannequins are so old and I kind of appreciate just a little bit because like could you imagine if it was all like souped up and like super clean and like
No, I think that'd make it scarier.
yeah, right? Like
Mannequins just freak me out. I don't like dolls. I don't do shit like that. And so, like, yeah, you have these life-size fucking wax mannequins that are all creepy and like, oh, it's like, oh, one of them's gonna move. They're gonna freaking move. And then some of them did, and it would scare people. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude, because
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit's freaky. But I feel like we
Because
learned a
only
lot from
some
those
of them.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, they were really good. You didn't know which one moved and which one didn't either, so that was what was helpful. Um, so if you go, this is what I suggest is do it during the summertime. Because we went like for spring break and it was the end of March. And we had not great weather. It was kind of cold,
It was
really.
freezing the one day. We stayed in the
Yeah.
hotel almost the whole time because it was so freaking cold.
Yeah, we watched all of the Pirates of the Caribbean.
We did. And I was not mad about it. We had a
Not
lazy
bad.
vacation day and it was really
No
nice.
bad. Yeah.
Uh,
I like our lazy vacation days.
Me
Those are good
too.
ones.
The other time we went was like in November, also not
Mm-hmm.
great, because
Mm-mm.
the time.
Okay.
Okay, this is just going to be an episode full of things fucking happening because my headset just died.
Yeah, witches. We're talking about witches in Salem. So of course we're being fucked with.
Yeah, exactly. Which there's a few things that I wanted to bring up about that anyways. But yeah, during the winter times, it's fucking hard being in Boston and or Salem because
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
guys, the first time we went with a friend who lives in Boston. And so we were staying in Boston and then we did a trip to Salem for one of the days. And it gets like light there in the morning around like what 9-10 o'clock. And then it gets
Mm-hmm.
dark at 4 p.m. And
Oh
it
my
feels like
God.
7 or 8 o'clock and it's 4 p.m.
Oh my God. Seriously. Seriously. It was like I remember one day we were in the car and you were like, "Oh, it's 444." And I was like,
It was
"Where?"
pitch black out already. Yeah.
It's not 11:30. It looks like 11:30. Are you sure? And I'm like checking my watch, my phone, all of it. Like I literally legit did not believe you.
It was the most bizarre thing. And I was like, I never want to come back here during this time again because it was horrible because I was like tired. It's like 4 o'clock, it's getting dark, it's dark by 5 o'clock, and then you get like only this short amount of time of hours. And I'm like, how are people doing this?
Right.
How are people doing this? It's like it gets dark at 8 o'clock at home and I'm out for the count. I can't understand it. So, yeah, strong suggestions are go during the summer. I would
Go during the
really love to
summer.
experience it during Halloween, but I also think it would be absolutely bonkers. But I do want to try it once.
Yeah, I think we should. I think it would be fun. We would have to definitely plan ahead for that because I think
It's a lot.
it's a thing. Yeah. Um, I because that's the whole thing is like I know there's more to dig and I think it it's worth digging. Like once we find it, we'll be like, there it is, like
Yeah.
um because even though the times we had, I still want to go back. It's still very sacred to me for some reason. And I want to find out why it's sacred, why it feels sacred to me.
Yeah, me too. Well, because there are a lot of witches there, legitimate witches. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
legitimate people that are into magic.
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of legitimacy there, and it's just a matter of finding it. Like one of the coolest things I think we did this last time we went with the girls was we went to a bookbinding place.
Yeah.
And not only could you bind books, you could do other things. I can't really remember, but it was really cool
It was
because Bella made,
leatherworking. Yeah.
yeah, Bella made her
Hmm.
own like book, like whatever
I,
she
I,
wants it to be.
I do want to go back and make a book.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Hmm.
My other suggestion is if you guys don't know where to stay, I'd say the place that we stayed, I'd like to stay again. And I want to talk about it because we had some really cool experiences there. So I feel like most of the time when we go places, we have experiences, but of course the baby was with us and so was Bella, and it's like the whole group was together. So of course we experienced it on a whole new level.
Yeah.
Um, but we stayed at the Salem Inn and specifically the Peabody home. And
Hmm.
the Peabody home, I just looked up a few things really quick because um I also don't know why, but I wanted to see like when it was built and stuff. So actually the Peabody home was built as a single family Dutch colonial in 1874, and that's where
Hmm.
we stayed. And the owners of the inn purchased the first home, which is the Salem Inn, in 1834. It was when it was built, and it was the home of Captain Nathaniel West. And they
Hmm.
converted that into a bed and breakfast. And then after that, a couple years later, they bought the Peabody House, and then they bought the Kerwin House. So they actually have 40 rooms that are all historical that you can stay in. And we stayed in
Hmm.
one of the family deluxe rooms. And for all of my people that are like, you guys need to tell more ghost stories, here's your moment. Because holy fucking shit, dude. So the baby and I, when we're on vacation, we usually sleep in the same bed together. And the way that this room was is there was a twin bed with a pull out, a trundle in the front like living room area, and then there was a bedroom with a queen bed in it. And the baby and I slept in the queen bed the first night, and Nicole and Bella slept out on the trundle. And Jesus, it still gives me chills even thinking about it because this was like it was cool, but it was also kind of terrifying. So um we got there, everything was fine, right? We got there during the day, we went, got food, we came back, whatever. We were just kind of chilling out that night. We go to bed, and I, now when I think about it, I think I was astral projecting slash lucid dreaming. Because I woke up in the room to the baby crying and freaking the hell out that there was something in the room. And Nicole comes into the room, and I'm telling her, you got to do this for her. You got to do this for her. All of a sudden, I felt hands all over my body being dragged everywhere, all over my body. And I was telling Nicole about it, and she was like, you're okay. Tell it to stop. You're okay. Tell it to stop. And I'm like, it's not stopping. And I looked to the door that was at the end of our bed, and there was a woman dressed in like old colonial wear, but like fancy, standing in the doorway. And I told Nicole, and Nicole grabbed a broom out of fucking nowhere and went and was like swatting at her, like, get out, get out. Like, we don't need you right now, blah, 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 whatever. And I woke up in a cold sweat.
Hmm.
And the next morning, nobody was up. And the next morning, I was telling Trinity about it. And Trinity said she saw her too. And she felt her the moment we got in there.
Hmm.
And then the next night, Trinity, or was it that? It was the night, that same night, actually. I'm sorry. Before I had the dream, Nicole and I were the only two up, but we didn't know it. And Trinity was already asleep. I was asleep, right? And we're sleeping inside the with the wall in between us. There was like this little
Hmm.
breezeway area, and all of a sudden I hear boom, 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 up and down the wall. I'm just like, nope, nope,
Not
nope.
today.
And
Not
then
today.
I hear Nicole get up, and she gets up to go to walk by the bedroom, and to go to the bathroom, and I said, you heard that, right? She goes, mm-hmm. I was kind of smiling, and then I had the dream. And then we decided the next day that we were going to get the woman of the house flowers. Well, then we kept having these freaking experiences, like we're all getting ready and doing our makeup together, and it's like I was sitting next on the trundle bed, and Bella was sitting in this little table chair thing doing her makeup
Mhm.
kind of next to me, and we could smell like almost like baby powder in a way. It smelled like really old powder. And Nicole's like, they're in here watching us do our makeup. And
They
I was like,
loved it.
immediate chills. I was like, holy shit, you're right. You're right. This is so cool.
Mhm.
It was
It was
crazy.
it was almost like we had a bunch of like, I don't know, like preteen girls in there, just like, oh my God, loved all of it, right?
Yes. So yeah, that was, I have to say, out of almost all the hotels I've stayed in, that's on my top list of experiences. Cause like nothing like flew across the room or any shit like that. Nothing was like, not like Halloween in New Orleans, which we did talk about, but like nothing
Mhm.
like that. But I'll tell you what, that was the fullest I've seen a being, because I
Mhm.
wasn't seeing it in my 3D body. So it was like I fucking saw her.
Yeah.
And it was crazy, but so cool. So freaking cool. And so if you guys want
No.
a cool experience and you want a really nice hotel to
Yeah.
stay
I would
at the
stay
Salem
there.
Inn.
Yeah, because we got breakfast in the morning too, and that was so nice.
And it was so cute because it's like
Mhm.
underneath the Salem Inn and like it's so cute there. And it's right down the road from the Salem Witch House. You're right down the road from
Mhm. Mhm.
downtown.
Yeah, right around the corner. We had that great cafe that was just right around the corner. It was
That
so
cafe
good.
was so good.
Mhm. Yeah, it's really good. Like the first time we went, it was kind of nice because we just did some shopping. And then the second time we went, Bella and Trinity, so they did shopping. I do want to go again because I want to see what we can get up to because it's like we've done this part, right? So it's
Mhm.
almost like we need to like widen our search, like
Yeah.
see what is on the outskirts a little bit and see where like, and the great thing is we could probably talk to Nathan and have him give us some pointers or maybe have him be a guide of some sort for us.
Yeah, Nicole's friend Nathan King. He is a
Mhm.
witch who also lived in Salem for a while, and he is a really cool character.
Mhm.
Really cool.
Mhm.
Like the way he talks. We have plans to get him on the podcast for you guys so you guys can hear him. He's also a sweetheart. I met him one time and I was just like, "Oh, I
Mhm.
like you a lot."
He's super sweet. It would be good if we got him on to the show a little bit. But he would be probably the one that we could talk to about like, you know, maybe verifying some of the stuff that we felt. And because like I said, I still have a pull for it, which is so funny to me that Salem, okay, so get this logic, I guess in my head, I've come to this like it's so funny to me that we associate Salem with witches when it's really popular for killing witches, but there weren't even witches that they were killing. Do
See,
you know what I
like,
mean?
well, it's also because of Bewitched. The seventh season of Bewitched was filmed
Yeah.
there.
Well,
So that
that was why it was more
also
but
made it.
like, do you see what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't make sense,
I agree 100%.
but it
Well,
does.
if we're being honest, there probably was witches there.
Oh, absolutely, right? I mean, this is
Like, you think them bitches are gonna get caught? Have you
no.
actually ever met a legitimate witch? Like, hello? I will say, one of the most interesting experiences that I think I had the first time we went was this shop we went into. Um, and God, when did this was that 2020? 3 years ago now?
Oh,
Or 2021?
2020, 2021.
I think it was 2021.
Yeah, I think so too. Because Boston was just coming out of their mask wearing.
Yes. So, we went into this store. Um, and I can't remember what it is, and that's okay. And there was a very interesting person in there who owns and runs it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how Nicole and I are. You guys know by now. You've been with us for a freaking half a year. Come on. We are the people that if you invite us into our home, we are going through everything. I'm just gonna walk around. I'm gonna pretend like this is my house too. I'm gonna go see where stuff's at. I'm not gonna be super invasive, but I'm gonna walk around. I'm gonna get a lay of the land.
Lay of the
And
land.
we walked in. Again, it's not a big store. So we're walking around, we're looking at all the stuff, tons of stuff, tons of stuff. I mean, the floor, the everything is covered. And we walk into the back room without knowing that's what we were doing. And we walked into a whole plethora of altars.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first experience with somebody who works with demons as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it on the floor and I was like, gotta go back. And it was a whole interesting experience. This person has a lot of like first edition books that are very rare and very hard to find. And it was really
Oh,
funny because we were like, is that a first edition of this? Is that a first? You guys obviously know too, Nicole and I love books. And it was like this, like, hold it back at a distance. Don't look at it. Don't breathe at it. But here it is. I'll hold it, but you're not allowed to really look at it. Kind
oh
of
yeah. He's
thing.
like, what, this book right here? I got this first edition of this Israel Regardie, blah 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 blah, or Aleister Crowley, la 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 la
Yes.
la. And I'm like, can I smell it? I just want to smell it.
Like, can you bring it a little closer? I can barely read. I'm have glasses, but do they work? I don't know.
Oh,
They're
just let
holding it
me
a
hold
mile
it.
away. Oh, and it was a whole experience because this person talked to us about how they worked with demons and how that was they specifically brought up that one altar they had to this demon and was talking to Nicole about it.
Yeah.
So Nicole's like, okay, well, here's an offering.
Yeah, I gave him an offering because I was like not fucking around. Here's some money.
No, it was a whole thing.
He had a couple authors altars too, because he had little altars with the saints on it. Because I remember I was like, hey, how much is that? He's like, that's not for sale. And I'm like, that's dumb.
Okay.
I want the Archangel Michael statue, fucker. Hmm.
Right. I will say that person's incense have been my favorite incense I've ever bought, though.
That's good.
I still have some from that first trip because I saved those for special occasions because they feel really good. But yeah, that's the thing about Salem where we're talking about like that whole experience of like there has to be the center to the cake that's full of sugary goodness and we haven't found it yet because this
Yeah.
icing on the cake is cool, but some of it's also not cool. And that was kind of one of those things where I was
It's just
like,
not fulfilling.
that did not fulfill any need I had. The
Mm-mm.
incense, amazing. Everything else, not a fan. Don't want to go back. And of course, when we went back the second time, we went back in there and I was like, ugh. I was like, I'm gonna go across the street to the macaroon store. See you guys in a bit.
Yeah, like I said, I would go back so we can. I do want to do a book because it'd be really cool to make my own like book of shadows or leather bound book with some papers in it. Um, and then like go on a magic hunt and see if we can find something.
You guys want to know something funny? Nicole broke into a cemetery the first time we went. Remember, she was telling you about her cemetery water? Well, yeah, she broke into the
I
cemetery to
did.
get that.
I did. I was naughty.
She's a heathen, man. What do you want from her?
It's the
She
only time I've ever broken into anything, first of all. And I was like praying to the witches and the spirits of the cemetery because I knew this cemetery is very highly guarded, which I get. Um, but of course I wasn't going to sit there and do any like damage to it. Like, so I was like, I gave all the offerings. I was scattering offerings all over. And I had a pack of cigarettes because I couldn't find any alcohol at that point. So I put a pack of cigarettes in the tree. I put like coins all over the cemetery on the gravestones, and I left my water. Well, the next day, I had to go pick it up in the daytime.
Yeah, because you guys keep in mind when she did this, it was in the cover of night and she had two people looking out for her. We also helped her jump the fence. And it was fine. Everything was actually fine. It went really well. If we were gonna break into anywhere, that was the perfect thing. But then, yeah, going back during the day, and the cemetery was open, right? But guarded.
Yeah. But God, there was a watcher, like a babysitter. And he was like at the entrance of the cemetery, and where he was at, he could see every inch of it. And of course, like I put it in the front of the tree that was closest to him. So if I went off of the beaten path, he was going to see it. And I, at this point, had yellow hair, bright
You did.
canary fucking yellow hair.
Highlighter yellow.
I'm not that easy. I was like, fuck, I am not camouflaged at all. So, so I remember being cool, like trying to be cool. And I remember being like, you came all this way and you're not gonna like, you're gonna chicken out now. You and I remember like doing the pep talk and I'm walking around pretending like I'm like, oh, that's a nice cemetery and that's a nice cemetery. Oh, look at that cemetery. You know, trying to be like, yeah, I'm just here for. So I got to the tree and I'm like, oh, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. So I came around and luckily I didn't like bury it too far down into the dirt or anything. So I picked it up and like walked back and pretended like nothing ever happened. But then of course I needed dirt too. I needed cemetery dirt. So we walked a little bit ways and then I like knelt down. This was just in the path though, or along the edge of the path. So I wasn't really like too concerned, but like there's so many people there. And I get a little nervous when everybody's like watching me, but I was like, I'm doing it anyway.
Also, like, mind you guys, the night before we had gone to a drag show in Boston, and when I tell you, I will never say another thing like this. That night, Nicole and I thought we were fucking rock stars,
We were
and we
rock
were
stars.
shooting tequila left and fucking right. That next day, I did not go because your girl couldn't get off the couch.
Oh, dude, I don't understand who was influencing me at that point, but I am a Scotch girl.
You weren't that
Not
night,
that
honey.
night. I
No,
was shooting tequila like I was.
a fucking rock star, man. A fucking rock star. We thought we were stars. We were just shooting tequila like it was nothing. Water.
Oh, yeah, just it was, I don't even know how many times.
Yeah, that's in one of my top 5 hangovers. That was so not only are you trying to get cemetery dirt and this water you freaking buried during the daylight when there's water and people around, you're also hungover as hell.
Yeah. Oh, you gave me those two gummies though before we left, and I was like, chef's kiss.
Fucking chef's kiss, dog. Thank you. Yeah, you
It's
needed
amazing.
those.
Oh God. Um, yeah, like I said, I kind of like Salem.
That's what I'm saying. I liked Salem. I'm not in love with it yet. Not like my obsession, with New Orleans, but I also found the heart of New Orleans and the soul of New Orleans. I've been able to find places that feel amazing. Like
Right,
they're not
right.
your
They're
typical
different though.
store that's in every place that could be kind of spiritual. Like
Right.
we've found some really awesome people in New Orleans. We've found some awesome, like, it's my city, man, but like, I haven't been able to get down to the guts of Salem yet. Um,
No, because like the thing about New Orleans is that like you have other cultures in it, right? There's a
yes.
mixture and it dilutes the potency of like witch stores, spiritual
Mm-hmm.
shops, right? Where Salem is only known for witches.
Right.
So it's so concentrated.
Yeah, because
Ugh.
I really get down with that hoodoo voodoo, man. Oof, that shit hits hard. And then you go to
Mm-hmm.
Salem and it's like, do you want an aura picture? And I'm like, yeah, fuck it, why not? I ain't got shit else to do. I'll take an aura picture.
Oh, right, right.
Sure.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And they do. They have a store. They have a witch store, and then they have a witch store, and then they have a witch store, and then they have a witch store.
And then they have a goth store for goth clothing.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. That was best.
That was the
That was
best. Yeah, Killstar's there.
mm-hmm.
Good store. What a creepy person that was running the see, this is like my favorite thing, you guys. We just did that episode with Baby, and so you guys kind of get to
Mm-hmm.
know her. I hope you've gotten to know her better. And if you haven't listened to it, listen to it. She's funny as fuck. But my favorite thing about her is she's very, very in touch. And when she walks into a store, she's either like, let's look around, or she's like, immediately no.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
that was one of those stores where she was like, immediately no, but she also was like curious, so she's gonna look. But it was like one of those like look really quick and then let's go. And then
Let's
she
go.
walks up to you and she gets really close and she'll be like, can we go?
Uh-huh. When
So
she's uncomfortable, she's the closest to you.
the closest to you and be like, let's go. Let's go. And I'm like,
Let's go.
yeah, you're right. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. If anybody has suggestions for places to get down to the guts of Salem, any like, I don't know, what we really want is we want to have a dinner with a real witch in Salem. That'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
That'd be
Or go
so
to
cool.
like a private festival or party or something. That would be cool.
That would be really freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody knows anything, has any suggestions, freaking send them our way because that would be so cool to go again and experience that kind of Salem.
Mm-hmm.
I will say
It
one of
would
my
be
favorite
nice.
things too is they have basically an Ollivander's wand shop there.
They do. That was so cool.
I have my wand still and it was so freaking cool. I actually have it right here.
Oh,
Why Not's Wands, Salem, Massachusetts. Haha.
haha.
My favorite. But yeah, Salem, kind of Salem for us. It's interesting.
I got a few things too that I like still use, and I'm really proud that I got them from Salem though.
I will say that that is one thing that most places you kind of gotta go looking for what you want in New Orleans, but in Salem, man, you could find it
All of it. Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah. There's a couple of stores. There's cool little knickknacks and stuff like that. Like, so if you ever wanted to get witchy stuff for your friends, it's a great place for that because it's not only it's from Salem, but like, if you wanted to get like a hand ceramic, whatever, it's like, ooh, it's from Salem too. So it makes it like it's a great place that I would do that. It's like if I wanted to really buy some like stuff, some gifts, I would go to Salem just to go and do that.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah, like I said earlier, I really want to experience Halloween there. I just think it would be so much fun. But that's like
Mm-hmm.
a good planning type thing because I also would like to stay in the hotel that we stayed at.
Yeah. We'd have
Or
to
there's
look.
the other hotel. I can't remember what it's called right now. I'll look it up really quick, but that one's super freaking haunted.
What is that? The Hawthorne?
The
Was it
Hawthorne,
called?
there it
What's
is.
it called? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I want to stay there too because like I have a feeling it's gonna feel very creepy. Like, well, we did go to dinner there and it was kind of creepy, like the Shining Hotel, I would imagine feels like, but
Mm-hmm.
this one's legitimately haunted.
Legitimately.
Legitimately. You think you're sleeping? Guess what, baby? You're not. You're not
No
sleeping.
sleeping. No
No
sleeping.
sleeping allowed. Sleep in your car. You ain't sleeping in here.
No, we hauntify our rooms every time we do it now.
That is true. Well, we definitely didn't I guess, yeah, you could say we dehauntified, but we didn't kick the spirits out when we were in the Salem Inn and the Peabody house. We more enjoyed their presence.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember doing anything that necessarily made me like, because I don't even think I did the lesser banishing ritual.
You sure didn't.
I don't think I did magic at all that trip.
Nope, you didn't.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I remember we got them flowers, we gave them booze, and we were like, cool. Hanging out, man. Hanging out together. Yeah,
Yes.
Salem's cool.
It's cool.
That's cool. We gotta go again. And then maybe we'll have more experiences and more to talk about for you guys, but
It was a hard city though. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I remember walking up that one. We had just had breakfast, me, you, and Bella. We just had breakfast. We're walking back. It was the coldest day. Walking uphill, the wind is blowing our face. I just remember being like, my body hurt. Everything was so hard to do. Like, walking back to our hotel was so hard. Everything
mm,
was so hard.
I think it's a hard city too because it's so close to
Hmm.
Boston. And I like Boston, don't get me wrong. Like there's some bomb food in Boston. My God, if you guys ever get to go to
Oh,
Yankee Lobster.
Yankee Lobster,
Oh,
dude.
oh, God. Best lobster roll you'll ever have in your life. You'll never eat anywhere else ever
Oh,
again.
man.
God, it's good. But Boston's a hard city too. I feel like the work ethic there is strong and the rush is strong. The drive is
Yeah.
strong and that
Yeah.
kind of I think bleeds over into Salem a lot too. So it's like this want to be a laid back, chilled city, but then it's not
It's not really. It's a different energy. It's not super aggressive, but like,
strong.
these, you got to figure that these type of people have to endure the winters. And the winters in the north are hard and they're long. And especially like if you think these came from the stock of um since 1692 and knowing what they had at their disposal at that time, where we're talking just wood burning stoves, and that's why their windows are so tiny because it lets out less heat, like all of these, like, and evolution, like these are hard people because they had to be.
Well, and
This
on
is how
top
they
of it,
survived.
they're right on the East Coast, right off the
Yeah.
ocean.
Yeah.
It's crazy cold
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy cold. It gets dark early as hell, and it's a whole experience in and of itself. Where I'm like, damn, we're from Michigan, so we're Midwest, North Midwest, which
Right, right.
fine, right? Like we get hard winters. Don't get me wrong, but not like that.
Mm-mm.
Being right off the ocean like that, and also being more north, it's oh God, winter
Yeah.
there is a whole nother being. That's a sister to our winter.
Yes. Yeah. Older sister.
Hell yeah, dude. Also, you got to think too, these people are walking around with a lot of history around them, a lot of history everywhere you go. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's all the houses are history, there are historic sites, there's historic parks, there's
Hard
historic
history too.
everything.
Right. I mean, like I am a history buff. I love history. And um I remember being in the harbor and being like, oh my God, this is where that happened. That mystical story of the tea and being dumped in the harbor and all that stuff, right? Like, and it's so weird to be like, that's where this happened.
Yeah.
Like, that's so weird. And I
Like,
love the buildings. The buildings were amazing. It was this great mix of American and European meld together.
well, and there's Dutch influence too, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a ton of different history there, but like, we don't live in a place that's very historic. We live in a place that's just very modern and Um, you're not walking around with that pressure all the time, right? Of like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this is a historical site. We have to be very, very
It's
careful.
sacred.
It's
Right.
sacred.
It's
Exactly.
sacred.
Sacred. Say sacred one more time. Sacred. Yeah, so it's like it's an interesting feel. If you haven't been to Salem, definitely go.
Mm-hmm.
Take a
It's a great
tour.
girls trip. It's a great girls trip. Like
Oh,
go,
yes.
get some presents for some people. Great girls trip. But go during like May to October. And then I
Um,
wouldn't do anything past October.
my favorite store I really quick wanted to mention is the Emporium 32.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, it's the coolest freaking store. If you just want some weird
Hmm.
oddity stuff, you want some cool stuff you don't find, that's a really cool store and it's so pretty.
Yeah. Look up the bookmaker too, because she does a lot of like leather binding kind of stuff. So
Yeah, she's over towards the water. There's like some stores over there. Can't
hmm
remember what it's called, but that's a really cool place to go. Trying to think what else. Honestly, there's just a lot of cool places to go. A lot of cool things to
hmm
see. Like I said, the wand store, if you want to have like your own like almost Ollivander-ish feel. That was really cool. It's
That
why
was
nots.
cool. Hmm.
That was really cool. There's a lot of legitimate witches in Salem. Get some readings done.
Yeah.
Get some magic done, dude.
If you wanted to pick up your tarot cards, I would think that would be really cool to like
Oh,
pick up tarot cards from Salem. It's like, oh, I got these from Salem. Like,
over by the bookmaker, there's a really famous witch who has a store there too. She looks
oh,
like Stevie Nicks.
Lori,
Lori Campbell, maybe? No.
Cabot,
Cabot, there it is.
Cabot.
Yeah, she's got a lot. She's got a store there. Her and her daughter have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stuff they made. There's some witches ropes,
Mm-hmm.
some different bundles, shit like that. That was a really cool store.
They had a
Um,
lot of nice stuff because they had robes, they had
yeah,
candles, they had tarot cards, books.
crystals.
Yeah, they had and it was legit. Like it wasn't because sometimes like I like a nice blend of serious and putting forth the effort to make it look aesthetically pleasing too.
Yep,
And sometimes it can be too cheesy and not enough of the soul in it. But this had a really nice blend of like it looked whatever you consider witchy for me is. And then it also had the potency and the soul inside of what you were buying as well.
absolutely. Belly got a lot of stuff there that she still uses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She had some cool shit in there. Cool store, dude. Yeah,
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 that's what we got on Salem.
yeah, doctor. Yeah, that's what we got on Salem. It was going to be, like I said, an easy, short, sweet one. Because, I mean, we got to go still. We got to spend more time there and
We
figure out
really
some more
do.
shit.
Mm-hmm. We could do a road trip too, because I think it's 11 hours from here that we could,
Oh, that's not bad.
if we wanted to, instead of flying.
You know, some people hear that and they're like, "Ooh, 11
Oh,
hours."
you and
And I'm
me,
like,
I'm like,
11
11
hours,
hours.
that's freaking easy, man.
Yeah. Just get up early.
Yeah, Nicole's early is like 3, 4 o'clock. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty easy. We don't
It's
mind
not
a road
bad.
trip.
Ah, road trips are fun.
Yeah. It's when you hit that 17, 16, 17 hour one that I'm like,
Oof.
I think we'll just fly.
Oof. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's too much. Unless you got like, see, that's where I'm like, I need a motorhome. I need a class C.
Yes.
'Cause then your girl will take all the road trips in the world because I can stop at whatever campground I want to stop at. Good to go.
Well, we probably could do that with the Flex even
Probably.
if we put a mattress in the back.
They have car mattresses now. Plugs into your like little
Oh,
um
that's perfect.
your little like whatever thing and it blows up on its own, fits right in your car.
Nice. That's nice.
Although when you, me, and the baby travel, we don't travel light unless we're getting on that plane. And even then, your girl's bringing a big ass suitcase. So
Uh-huh. We have to have options.
we have to have options. Also, you have to prepare for all kinds of weather. You never
True.
know.
You never know. All right. I think we're done here.
I agree. Well, we hope you enjoy the episode, you guys. Our little quick Salem rant. And I'm not sure what next week's episode is going to be because we might have to switch things around again a little bit. But yeah, we will see you guys in the next one.
All right, we'll see you later, heathens.
Bye.